back on MLA from Boston as we prepare for the Beanpot tournament, the first 2 Mondays in February, pitting Northeastern University versus Harvard, Boston College, and Boston University. As mentioned, in 51 years, Northeastern U has only won 4 Beanpots, all under coach Fern Flaman. But even Fernie didn't finish his career at NU with a 500 record. In fact, only one Husky coach of the 8 in history, William Linsky, finished above 500 for a career, and he only coached 13 games during World War II. The same challenges that faced NU coaches through history face current bench boss Bruce Crowder.
It's probably mirrored what he went through, I'm going through it, and it's all relative. I mean, my recruiting budget was better than ever his recruiting budget was, but at the same time, you know, things have changed, and the other schools have, you know, obviously jacked their things up too. So I think it's probably, the best word is it's relative.
Right. Everybody moved up, and you're still in the same spot.
Well, we're relative to where they moved up, you know. So it's still one of those ongoing battles.
The big boys, athletically, BU and BC, usually win. Harvard and Northeastern usually lose. In the 5 decades of the Beanpot, Harvard and Northeastern have never met in the championship game.
I've been following him since I was a kid. I remember skipping school from the Beanpot in 1988 when they won, so I've been a lifelong fan, and I always will be. It's hard. It's sort of like being a Boston Red Sox fan, though. You learn that every year, next year will be the year, and it'll just make winning that much sweeter when we actually do get to win. So I have hope that the team's going to pull it out pretty soon.
Northeastern, of the 4 teams, has always been the 4th team in the row, and we wish they could be number 3 and 4 and become number 1, let's just say. And we're always supporting them for that fact. Coach Crowder is exceptional. He's recruiting. He will get a team. We will definitely win.
So much is put into this tournament locally. I mean, there's the bragging rights of the 4 schools. Some people call it 4 cousins going at it or 4 brothers going at it, and you know, everybody's kind of intertwined. Had of a sister or a mother or a father all went to maybe one of the different schools, so you know, they come in and you could have a row of people in the seats, and one guy would have a Harvard hat on, the next, you know, the son would have Northeastern on, or BC or BU, and that's really how this has developed. I mean, it's the first 2 Mondays in February. Not a lot going on except there happens to be this year with the Super Bowl, but it just really captivates the city and these 4 institutions.
I can remember when I first took over, we didn't have too much of a team, and I'd go in at the Beanpot, and I'd be watching my players come in. Geez, I'd watch, and here'd be a kid walking in with a hot dog, you know, and stuff like that. And I said, my God, that'd be a little tough on your stomach when you get out there and all this, you know. But they just didn't realize it. But we get the kids indoctrinated, and we did all right.
Ontario is represented only 3 times on the playing rosters for this year's Beanpot. A backup goalie at Harvard, and 2 players at Northeastern, including the starting netminder.
I've heard little things about it being a big tournament and whatever, but I didn't have any idea how big it really was. Like, I've heard things through like McGillis being down here, and Mark Robitaille were also Ottawa-based hockey players, but until I got down here, it's just unbelievable how big it really is.
Really excited. I mean, the Beanpot is huge. Coming from Canada, you don't know much about it. Like, you hear about the tournaments, it's part of the recruiting process, but when you actually get here, and I didn't think like in front of 18,000 fans. I mean, I thought it was in the Fleet Center. I thought you'll get people there, but when you get there, the atmosphere is unbelievable. Emotions are really high. I mean, BU, we're playing obviously tomorrow, and freshman year we had lost to them in the finals, which was not a very fun thing. But I mean, they're a great team. They always, it doesn't matter what the record is during the season, they always come out for the Beanpot. I mean, and that's a big thing, and the emotions are going to be really high tomorrow.
The annual rotating round robin has this year's matchups on the first Monday as Northeastern versus Boston University and Boston College versus Harvard. The losers meet in the early game the following Monday. The winners meet in the Beanpot Championship. History suggests it will be BU and BC playing for the title.
This is one of these situations that can really catapult your season. You know, if you're really going well, this is obviously just another another step to keep your season going. If things aren't going well in your season, this is something you can hang your hat on. If you can get your guys to play well for the first 2 Mondays in February. Case in point, the Northeastern's first Beanpot year, I think, was 1980. and I think they only won 9 games that year, and 2 of them happened to be in the Beanpot. And 23, 24 years odd later, people look back on that team, and if you'd probably asked some people, they probably thought they were the national championship team that year also.
And you get the fans coming out of the woodwork. They come from all over, from out of town, to these games. Plus they've got the bands from each university in the different corners of the arena. And they really whoop it up, and the kids have themselves a real fine time.